Hi, welcome. It's time for another town hall with me, a candidate for President of the United States. I am Susan Buchser-Lochocki, also known as Susan B. Lochocki, or Susan B for short. And I am now in Ohio, near Cincinnati. And I am here to first off wish all the mothers out there a very happy Mother's Day. Today is Mother's Day, and I am lucky enough to have my daughter with me all the way from Switzerland. She's here visiting. And so that makes me as a mom really happy. And then I'm also a daughter, and I have my mom still with me, and I'm visiting her here in Ohio. And she's here really with me. And not only that, is it Mother's Day, but it's also National Military Appreciation Month. And she is also a spouse of a military Air Force person. And so, anyways, my father, of course, it is. So we have a military spouse here too. And so it's all rolled into one person, which is my mom. So I'm going to just turn around the camera and let you say hi to her quickly, or she'll say hi to you. And then I have some questions. I've actually forgotten what they are, but she's going to help me remember, and we're going to talk about being mothers and how great it is, or being daughters too of mothers. So anyways, so here's my mom, and just introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Diane Lochocki, and I am Susan's mother. And I wish all the moms out there a very, very special Happy Mother's Day.
That's great. Thank you. Thanks for joining me, Mom. I didn't know if I would get here on time, but I did, and we've had some troubles on the road. I don't have my usual phone holder, and I'm not in my usual place, so this is on the road sort of videotaping. So excuse me if my hand shakes a little bit, because you know I have a familiar tremor. It's not an earthquake. There's no earthquake going on. It's just shaking. And yeah, my mom also has these things. It often comes with older age, but for me, I got it as a teenager, and I've had it all my life. But anyway, so it looks like we have a visitor from Salfu Sayadu Samura. Welcome, thank you, from New Guinea. He says, or she says, hello. And yeah, so anyways, because we don't often have someone of the older generation still, um, you know, time passes. I'm not the young spring chicken I used to be. My mom is not the young spring chicken she used to be. But she is also a daughter, and she also is a granddaughter of someone. So I would like to hear a little bit about some of her memories from maybe her mother, like one of her favorite moments that you want to share from your mom, or something you want to share from your childhood that would maybe tell us a little bit about what mothering was like back when you were maybe living at home with your parents. I don't know. Do you have a memory you want to share?
Oh, I have lots of memories.
Okay.
I had two older brothers, and may they rest in peace. And I was the baby. Now, in my family, when you're the baby and you're the only girl, you don't make any decisions. All the decisions are made for you, and what you're going to do and how it's going to be. But that was okay. That's just the way it was. I loved my brothers. We had a lot of fun together when we were growing up. And I remember my middle brother. I had an older one, and then Dave, and then me. There was Bill, Dave, and me. And we always liked Christmas. That, even during the war. Well, during the war, my dad, he was quite handy and artistic himself, but he never really pursued that, which was really a shame. he made my brothers machine guns. Now, today's market, you're not going to do that. But back then, it was okay. Nobody got excited about, oh my goodness, you can't have guns. Well, anyways, he made them each a machine gun. It looked like a real thing. And of course, they were older and I was little. And Christmas morning came, and each one of us got their special gift, which was the machine guns, and mine was a doll. Now, mind you, I'm like probably 5 years old, 6 years old. I was so disappointed. I didn't get a machine gun. I wanted that so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the boys. And the reason being is, it seemed to me my parents, we didn't have any money. And we would move into a house that they would rent for cheap because it needed a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
They would fix it up, and then the rent would go up, and then we would move again. So we were moving always in a radius of this one area up in Columbus, Ohio. We were moving about once every year. And it always seemed to me, where's the little girls? I never knew what it was like to have a little girlfriend until I went to school. I didn't get to go to kindergarten. There was one little girl several houses down from me, but she went to kindergarten, and she would bring home all these little things that they made.
Crafty things.
Yeah, yeah. Little baskets, little this, little that. And I would see them, and I would be so envious. I wanted to do that. But anyway, so my existence was, I had boyfriends. Always. So I did whatever the boys
Your brother's
did.
friends, yeah.
Yeah, I did whatever they did. If they played hockey.
And you wanted a machine gun. But it wasn't a real machine gun.
No,
those were just toy machine guns.
These were made out of wood.
Okay, just pretend machine guns.
They were the pretend.
But that was a big time right then, wasn't it? Wasn't it during like the big FBI situation?
No.
Lots of... there was gang violence going on in Chicago at that time?
Well, I have no idea. We didn't have TV.
Okay.
Okay.
You didn't have TV?
No TV.
Did you have a phone?
We had a phone, but we had what was called a party line.
Oh, a shared...
And we shared it with like 4 other families. So it was pretty hard. I would pick up, after I was older and learned how to use a phone, I'd pick up the phone and make a phone call, and somebody would be on it. Well, you don't listen in unless you're a really busybody.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. No.
And now you're talking on a phone, on the internet, on Facebook.
I've seen it all.
I know you have.
I've seen it all.
Right?
It is so amazing.
Okay. Yeah.
From those years, I was born in 1937, so I was old enough to remember the Second World War and the end of it. And I remember standing in line with my mother. We were rationed on all kinds of food. And if you didn't get there early, you may get something or you may not.
Right.
They may run out.
Okay.
Now, we all lived through it and nobody died.
Yes.
From those kind of things.
Yeah.
And I remember shoes. They were like a nickel a pair. You could go, but that nickel was like $45
today
at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a different time.
And it was just a different time and place.
Okay, I want to stop here for a second. And I just, an extra thank you to all the military moms out there. All the moms who are actually active military, first off. A special happy Mother's Day to you. But then also all the spouses who have military people all over the world, or maybe they're home visiting right now. I know it's tough being a wife or a spouse of somebody in the military. And so big hats off to you, mothers, for doing that, for being a mother of somebody working in the military and active duty and such things. Really a special happy Mother's Day to you too. Then our person who's watching with us, under which political party are you running for president in America? So I started with the Green Party, actually. Then I became a write-in. Then I ran for Congress as a Republican, and then I became a write-in. But then I stopped running because I discovered all the fraud in the system. So then I started this process again with the Republican Party for president last year. But I can't keep up with Trump and his money. So I'm going right in again, but I'm also in the process of changing the way we vote, and I somewhat have a lawsuit pending with the Supreme Court. So I'm going to say I'm still a write-in candidate with leaning towards Lincoln's party, is probably the best way to put it. I want to bring back the integrity that Lincoln had to our country and to the Republican Party. But there might be also other parties out there. I know I'm still I have a lot of green in me and some libertarian. So, I don't know if even picking a real party is the best choice for me. I think it might just be best if I just stay independent and a write-in, and then let you decide who I am, because my platform doesn't fit into really anybody's specific party. But I am with Lincoln. I'm very much a Lincoln follower. So and Theodore Roosevelt is also one of my favorites. But anyways, now let's find out a little bit about what my mom's experience was with her grandmothers. She had two grandmothers.
No.
Well, only one that you knew.
Yeah.
You had two. You only knew one, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's find out what she knows. Maybe a Christmas experience about.
There was no Christmas. All my relatives were back in Pennsylvania in a little town called Phillipsburg. You want to move that just a little? There.
My thumb?
Had it. No, the cat there, right there.
Okay.
Anyway, and my dad, that's how we got to Columbus, was offered a job with Jewel Tea Company, where he went around and delivered coffee and tea and whatever they did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we got there. But everybody was in Pennsylvania. We used to go back once a year during the summer months, when school wasn't in session.
Okay.
So my father's mother died when he was 18 years old. My grandfather never remarried, but he had lady friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then on my mother's side, my grandpa, I don't remember him because he died when I was 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a
One
male over here and a female over on the
Right.
other side. And Grandpa Woodring, he wasn't happy until he made us kids cry.
Oh.
But he always had coloring books and crayons for us.
Okay.
Okay. So,
But it's Mother's Day. Let's focus on your grandma that you
and
know.
I'm going to Grandma next.
Okay.
So that was my grandfather. I don't remember him too much. My Grandma Lottie, I loved her. She always smelled like like she had just been cooking in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It was a natural perfume. And we always had cookies and ice cream there. And they came from a farm. And so we always got really good food there. Mm-hmm. And she she would sit and play with us, kids, and laugh. She laughed a lot.
Right.
And she was a big woman. She must have been about 5'7", 6, 7.
Okay.
And she was big. Of course, she delivered like 12 or 13 kids.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And 11 of them survived.
Okay.
So, and she once in a while would come out to have one of my mother's brothers bring her out to Columbus, but she never liked to stay very long. She didn't like.
She liked her kitchen.
She liked her home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then that's all I can remember of her.
Okay.
I just don't, because she died and I was 11. I was 11 years old.
Okay.
When she passed. And so because my mother was one of the last 3.
Oh, was one of the younger.
No. There was my Aunt Dorothy, my mother, Uncle Ben, and Uncle Larry. Yeah, she was one of the last 4. So, Grandma was older.
Okay, and her name was Hartman, right? Or
yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
from Altoona
Hartman.
area, or where?
Huh?
Where was that? Altoona?
No, I was born in Altoona.
Right.
But remember, I'm the 3rd child. My dad had a job over in Altoona.
Okay, but where was this grandma?
Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I also knew, I sort of, Aunt Serena was the oldest at that point. She became like the focal point.
Like the grandma.
She was more like my grandma. And then my Aunt Dorothy was around my mother's age somewhere. And I remember her a lot because we used to go there. She had 3 children about the ages of Mom's 3 children. And so I visited with her.
Yeah.
And on my dad's side, my Aunt Hazel became a focal point for me. And I used to get to go there in the summertime, and I loved that because she spoiled me. She would bring me breakfast in bed on a tray with a rose. She had a beautiful flower garden. And come in there with that. And then she would sit for a few minutes, and then she would leave and let me to supposedly enjoy this.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I went there a lot.
That's great.
And my cousin there, he's still alive. I only have him left on the Woodring side. Hartman side, I have only one that I know. So.
Okay. Well, it sounds like, you had a lot of important mom figures and grandma figures and
I did.
Things like that. And there was definitely no phones, back in the old time.
Oh, yeah. When
you did a lot of letter writing. And
yes, we did the letters. I mean, if you went in your car somewhere, and it broke down, now you're out there, and there wasn't heavy traffic like there is today. We didn't have that many people there. I mean, the country has grown so.
Yeah.
And you had to walk and find either a house where had a telephone and told them, and they weren't always trusting you.
Right.
So that's kind of the way that was.
Yeah. A whole different
and
time.
by the way, that's my artwork here. Plus some of Susan B's.
Okay.
Okay.
So so maybe shall I give a little look at the
well, you can start
art
there.
collection?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So seascapes from California and Guam. That's one of Dad's photos, right?
That's Dad's, No, not that.
That's okay.
No.
That's somebody else.
Yeah, this is mine.
Yep. Then
I
you
just
got
did
into
this.
flowers.
I just did this.
You did a lot of outside painting.
I did.
And drawing. There's one of mine.
Yeah. Just big one. And then,
Yeah, you have
that's
a
the
lot of
artwork.
nice artwork.
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh, and
museum.
I'm returning. Oh, I'm returning to that today.
Are you?
Only on a very small scale. I'm going to call it the miniatures.
Okay.
The miniature series.
So, I think, I don't know, do you have anything else? So, what you were just saying is you're still doing some art right now. And so you're not finished with what your legacy leaving behind to us in the world?
Done. I'm not done. I don't have anything much that you're looking at.
You've gotten rid, you've sold a lot.
Yeah, well, I did in the past, yeah.
Or you?
I want to tell you about my little family when I was a military wife.
Okay, so let's do that.
And he was on active duty, and we were stationed out in California. And at that point in time, active duty wives went with the husband. It was not a volunteer military. It was a draft, and that's how they got the men into the service. And I used to get really homesick. And
this was out in California.
But eventually, what happened is you get strong bonds with your neighbors because they're in the same boat you are. And I don't see that happening today because now it's they're called up for duty. The family gets to stay with the in the local area wherever they're living. And they really don't have to go unless they want to, unless they really are able to.
Yep.
But when we get called up, our guys go. And anyway, I had my three little babies, and we had a big dog. His name was Eric. We had a Mary, Mike, and a Susan. And they were what kept me going.
Yes.
The kids.
Well,
and I enjoyed them thoroughly. And I used to make the dining room table on a rainy day. I would put drapes. I would cover the thing so it looked like a little tent.
Fort. Yes, I remember those forts. Oh, we had so much fun playing in the forts.
And they loved that.
Yes,
I would let them eat lunch in there.
Yes, that was fun. That was fun. I remember keeping in contact. I remember keeping in contact with the family members when we were everywhere, living in California or in Guam. And we would send reel-to-reel tapes. We would make tape recordings of everybody greeting each other for the special holidays or for birthday tapes or just regular monthly tapes. I don't know how often we would send them. But we would say something to our grandparents or to our uncles or aunts or whatever, wherever the tapes were going. And then we would send them through the mail, and then they would arrive, and then the person would have a tape player, and then they could listen to the message. So it was sort of like Instagram, but snail Instagram, or something like that.
It's true. And, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we also made videos, like with the video camera, but the reel-to-reel video film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as soon as you start leaving and going abroad and things like that, you still want to keep your contacts. So you're always finding ways to still stay in contact with each other and keep in touch with our loved ones, wherever they are. And there's always been a way, and there will always be a way, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, in today's world, of course, there are many ways.
Instant,
And it's just like my granddaughter Jessie and I were talking to her friend just a few minutes ago in Switzerland,
Yep.
just like we're talking here.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's very nice.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. No, it's great. You know, a lot of people say that mobile phones and handies are doing a lot of damage to people, but I don't think so. I think they're quite useful. It's how you use it. You know, it's the user that makes it good or bad. And that's probably a good place to stop, I think.
Okay.
So I'll have you say goodbye first, and then I'll say goodbye, and then we'll end.
Well, this has been most pleasant. I wish you a wonderful Mother's Day, the rest of the day, and any day is a good day. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, Mom. That was really fun, and we might make a few more videos over this year. Because it's fun to make videos and it's important, I think, you know, especially to hear Mom's points of view and to learn from the past and help guide the future. And, you know, I learned a lot of my best mothering skills right from my mom. So I'm already passing them on to a lot of my viewers anyways. But maybe we have some other things to share too. So I'm looking forward to the future conversations we'll be having. And I really appreciate you sharing this moment with me here on Mother's Day. So thanks, Mom, for being here. And thank you, the viewers, for being here too. I appreciate you stopping by. And if you're not here at the live conversation that we just had, I'm happy that you're visiting when it's not live also. Anyway. It's nice to be here with you. I wish all the mothers out there a very happy Mother's Day. And as you know, my platform is very strong on family and mothers. So I hope to bring some change real soon for all of us. And keep up the good work. I'm proud of you all. And let's create the next generation of citizens and make sure that they're well and strong and ready for whatever the future holds. So again, my name is Susan Buchser-Lochocki. I am running for President of the United States. And this is my town hall for Mother's Day today on Sunday at 3:30. Thanks for stopping by. I wish you a nice day wherever you are. Bye for now.